The first thing we're going to do is go to Google and search for book with Apple clip art. You want this specific picture, so you could also probably search teacher clip art, book with an apple, and then click on it and drag it to your desktop. You do want to save it to your desktop there. Open up a blank Word document and let's save it first. Just put it in our OneDrive, in our computers folder. Save it as cover letter first. So the person's name is Lana Lima Cannon. Or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's what I'm going to go with. And we're going to triple click that. Just grow till it's size 20 there. Okay. Then we're going to change the page design. And I know that you and I don't have the same design themes. So if you can't find the one that I'm choosing, try and find one close, or just make sure whatever you choose for this one, you choose for the resume as well. So I'm going to try this slice. So what you should notice is that the font changes. Your theme colors here will change. And we're going to triple click the name and choose. So again, let's do dark blue. Accent to darker 25%. Okay, probably not much changes. Then we're going to press enter. And right here, choose no spacing. So that way your text kind of goes back to the default there. And let's make it size 11. We're going to insert that picture. So just be able to go to insert, pictures, picture from file, go to your desktop. Book Apple. Okay. One thing to remember is that your picture comes in as text. So notice that my paragraph mark is way down there. So we're going to resize this. So make sure you're paying attention here, guys. So with my picture selected, picture format should open up. If it doesn't, click on it. It's picture format right here. And over here on the size, make sure that the lock aspect ratio is checked. It should be checked by default, but just make sure it is still checked. And so that way it stays proportional. So for the height, we're going to choose 0.65. And that should change the width to about 0.68. Now we're going to change its color to go along with our scheme here. Dark blue accent again. And what I want is over here on this gray shaded part, I want the color to be transparent. In that same color box, we're going to go here to set transparent color and use this little arrow to click on the gray and it will be transparent. You should have a blinking cursor, and for this we are going to set a right align tab just like we did the other day in class on our Halloween newsletter, because I want this to stay on the left and I want my text to go on the right. So I'm going to go up here and click. So just keep clicking until it gives you the right align tab. On my ruler, remember guys, if you don't see your rulers, go to View, check Ruler. I'm going to click a right align tab as close to the edge of the page as I can. With my cursor blinking there, I'm going to press Tab, and I'm going to start typing the information. I'm going to separate the address from the phone number by the asterisk. And same thing with the email. Now, even though this isn't a legit email address, when I press space, it's going to sync to link it because it has like the @world.net. So I'm going to select. So on the Mac, you have to be very careful. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to try and not get the finger. Just 2-finger click it and go to hyperlink, remove hyperlink. Okay, so then it's just listed there. Okay, then we're going to select our text and go up here to borders and shading. Again, make sure it doesn't say the address. Make sure it just has these lines here, and just add a bottom border and click OK. All right, and then double click right below it. Okay, so this is Lana's information, and this is her cover letter. But this is kind of like our letterhead here. So when you are doing a cover letter, typically it's the only representation that the company has of you and how you write and why it is that you're applying for this job. Especially for this person in particular, they are applying for a job that doesn't match their experience. So I'm going to press enter so that I'm not right underneath the line, and we're going to set another custom tab. This one's going to be a left align tab. So I'm going to click it till I get a left align tab, and I'm going to set that for 3.5. So here's 3.5. I'm just going to click it on there, and notice that I didn't select all my text, so that other tab is no longer there, and this tab will only be right here. Okay, so we're going to click the tab, and we want this date to update every time that we turn on or start working on this cover letter. Especially if I'm sending out several cover letters, I want the date to always update. So we want to insert the date to look like this. Okay. So again, if you're doing this on a different day, it's going to show up a different date, but that's okay. So now between the date and the inside address, which the inside address is who it's going to, we're going to have a quadruple space. So we're going to have 3 spaces in between. So we're just going to go ahead and type that. So this is who the letter is to. So this is not Lana's email. This is who the letter is to. Okay, and then in between the inside address and the greeting, you're going to have a double space. So there'll be 1 space in between. Oops. And then same thing between the greeting and the letter. So we're going to go ahead and start typing this letter. Now my text is pretty big, so mine wrapped it there to the next line. We want the Juniper and the Daily and the Herald to stay together. So if like Juniper was here and then Daily was down here and Herald was down here, I'd want these to stay together. So the way to get that, and again, it's not going to affect this. So the way to do this, to get these different little dots, and again, depending on which theme you chose, you might be in a different space here. So we want to keep Juniper and Daily and Herald together. So we're going to do Control Shift spacebar in between them. So that's a non-breaking space. Okay, so type resum, then go up here to advanced symbol and choose normal text, which should be at the end right here. And I'm going to choose the lowercase e that looks like resume there. So we want Juniper and Culinary and Academy to stay together. So in between Juniper and Culinary, I'm going to do that Control Shift Space. So this is one where Juniper would have been up here and Culinary and Academy down on this next line. So if I do these non-breaking spaces and they all stay together. We are going to do a double space as well. So single space within the paragraph, double space between paragraphs. So after typing that paragraph, you're going to press enter twice. So that should give it a double space. And we're going to insert a table. So we're going to insert a 1 row, 2 column table. And to get the table to expand here, I'm going to press tab there to move to the next cell. And now I'm at the end of my table, so I'm going to press tab, and that will give me a line below that. And we're just going to continue to do that. All right, after you're done typing up your table, again, this part's going to look different based on your theme there. We're going to apply a table style. All right, so we're going to go up here and we're going to make some adjustments here. We do not have a header row that doesn't say like, or areas of concentration, number of hours. So we're going to uncheck header row. We do have a first column, so these guys we kind of want to stand out. And we do not want banded rows. So like every even row would be a different color. So it kind of guides the eye just a little bit easier. So make sure that only first column is checked up here. So if you click on this, you should get that same pop down menu, and we're going to choose grid table 5 dark. So anyway, it should look something like this. Okay. After you've applied that, we are going to go up here to table layout. Choose auto fit and say auto fit to content. So that's going to make our columns smaller based on the content. And then we don't want to center the text. What we want to center is the table. So we're going to go over here and click on the table selector button, home ribbon, center. That will center our table, not our text. Click below your table and then press enter again to give another double space. So we're going to press enter, and we want a bulleted list this time. So we're going to go up here to our bulleted button and just choose a basic bullet and go ahead, and each time you want a new bullet, you're just going to press enter. So this Century Gothic is a really big font. If yours is not a humongous font, don't worry about it. It's like it's making my bullets all go onto 2 lines, and I don't really like that. You want to kind of keep your bullets pretty short. And same thing, we're going to, after you type cafeteria, press enter till you get rid of your bullet. Don't backspace it or anything, just keep. And then in between your bulleted list and where it says sincerely, that is going to be a double space. Set that tab here. So go ahead and press, if it's still there, go ahead and click it. If not, you might need to re-add it at 3.5. So I'm going to press tab, sincerely, enter. This should be a quadruple space, so there should be 3 spaces in between sincerely and Lana's name. And the reason that we give such a big space is so that you can sign it when you print it out. So this one is done. Just keep in mind when you are creating a cover letter, you want to make sure you're using proper grammar, good capitalization. This is what's going to set you apart. And this sometimes, if your resume isn't full of experience, or maybe you're just starting out, or like when I was seeking a teaching position, I had never taught before and I did not get a teaching degree. It was kind of a long shot, but because of my cover letter, I was able to state like how I could use my experience and my schooling to help me teach business classes and computer classes, and they gave me a shot. So, and use the preset designs, use those preset templates, just anything that will add a nice touch to it so it shows that you know what you're doing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and save this, and you can submit this file to me and move on to the resume.